Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the November LegFi webinar. My name is Amanda, and today we're going to go over officer transition success with LegFi. Hannah is also joining me. She'll be answering any questions you may have throughout the webinar, and then I'll also answer some of those at the end as well. So if you could, please go ahead and type your name and the organization you're with in the chat or in the question chat to let us know that that's working correctly. And while you're doing that, I'm going to give you a little history on LegFi and who OmegaFi is. So OmegaFi hosts and supports LegFi for more than 30 years. OmegaFi has provided technology solutions to help customers manage their finances, streamline their operations, recruit new members, and communicate with their members. We're based out of Columbus, Georgia, and we securely process more than 1.1 million per day for our clients and have securely processed more than 4 billion since 1992. We are deeply committed to serving, promoting, and advancing the fraternity and sorority experience. We're passionate about what we do, and it's this passion that has encouraged our clients to trust us to do the heavy lifting so they can focus on their mission and having fun. So today we're going to look at updating your member roster, addressing member balances. We'll look at LegFi with Treasury, and then, like I said earlier, at the end, we will go over questions and answers. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the members sections. This is where you add your members. You can update your members. Right here it says add members. So you'll click on that and you can add multiple members or you can do single members. If you do the multiple member, you can download the sample file and use that as a template for how you need to upload your files. It has to be a CSV file. It can't be anything else or it will not import correctly. And once you've done that, you'll get a list that says if the members have been imported, if there was any members that may not have been imported correctly, it will give you why, like if they already have an account. You can only have one email address within LegFi, so if they're using that email for another chapter, like if they've transferred or something like that, we'll need to help you get that fixed. So you would just email info@legfi.com and we can get that fixed for you. Another thing that I want to go over is like managing groups and also managing member types. Under this manage groups, you can create groups in ways of how you want to build them. If you have a group of seniors that don't have to pay all of the dues because they're graduating, you can create that group. And then once you create it, you can then go in and add the members that belong to that group. If you have members that are going to be on a payment plan and they can't pay the whole chapter dues and fees up front, you can create a group specifically for them, as well as like if they're paying in full, or if you want to, like here it says fall semester pay in full, and you don't want it to be that, you can come in here and edit it and just put pay in full, and then save the changes. And then if you want to create a new group, you'll just come out here, you put the group name, the description, and then again, you'll add the members that need to belong to that group. Next thing I want to show you are member types. Member types can be used for members that have not initiated yet. So if you have new members and you want them all to be in that group, when you upload those members, under that column, under that member type, you can put in new member or alumnus. If every organization uses member type differently, so you can create that however you would like to. So once you've added your members, to see who all is active, is right here. There's active, archived. If there are any members that have been sent to collections, will be under there. So under the active, If you need to like drill down into a member's billing profile, you can do that. So you can come in here and click on Paul. We want to make sure that he has an email address, if we need to add a phone number or add an address, or if you want to like add notes for him, you can do that as well. You can also record a payment on individual accounts, and you can see their aging report. So it will show you like if they're past due and any future charges that are going to go out. You can see all of that. It will also show you the last login, so it will show you if they've logged in to LegFi, and if not, then you can use our communication center over here to remind them to set up their LegFi account. You can look into the different invoices or outstanding charges that they have. You can look at future charges and just their account history. So, and then you can also export this if you need to do that. Say a member is not paying on time and you want to have a meeting with them, you can export this into a file and just show them what all is going on. And it also shows if they're a part of any groups, if they have any contracts, and if they have any permissions. So if they have any admin permissions within LegFi. I wanted to go over the archived members. So when someone graduates or they leave the organization for whatever reason, you will need to email us at info@legfi.com so that they can be archived. And that's important because your subscription fee, your LegFi subscription fee, is based off of the amount of members that you have. So if you don't send in that archived list to us, you'll get charged for them. They would be underactive, and you would just send an email to info@legfi.com with a list of all the members that need to be archived, and that's handled within 1 to 2 business days. The next thing that I want to talk about is like how to handle member balances. If you're in the middle of transitioning from one officer to the next and you want to make sure that the member balances are clear, cleaned up, and anyone that you know that is graduating and they have an outstanding balance, or even alumni that you just don't have contact with them anymore, you can send them to collections or you can work out a payment plan with them. As I mentioned earlier, you can drill down into members' accounts to see what their balance is, their aging status, and all of that information. And then once you get that information, you can come over here to this collections tab and you can send a past due email. So this is just reminding them what they owe, that they're past due. You can use the template that's out here. We have 3. So we have a past due reminder, a severely past due email, and then notice of collections. Depending on their responsiveness, you can choose which template you would like to use. So once you do that, you can send the email, you'll choose the members, and then down here, you'll schedule the past due email. And those emails go out at 3 p.m. Eastern every day. Once you schedule that, then it will go out at 3 p.m. Eastern. And if it's after 3, it will go out the next day at 3 p.m. Then the next thing that you can do, we also have automated phone calls. You can come out here and you can select members. An automated phone call will be made to them. Those also go out at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then all of these communications that you send to members will be documented under the communication log here. And it will also show under the members account here. You have several different places where you can look to see what communication efforts have been given. If they're not replying to any past due emails, past due calls, then you can go through the process of submitting them to collections. When you fill out this information, the contact information is not the information for the member you are sending to collections. It is chapters information. You'll want to put in, if you're leaving and the next admin is coming in, you'll want to put their information so that if the collection agency has any questions, they can contact them. Or if it's you, then they would contact you. Also, it gives you an agree to collection contract. This is just the contract that you go through. There are 35% of all funds collected are kept by the collection agency. That's their fee. And then once you accept that and submit it to external collections, it's sent to them and they will handle it from there. Under the collections information, this is the information for the collection agency. The next thing that I want to go over is the financial accounts section. This is where you can go to add an external bank account if you need to. This is also where you will go to open up a treasury account as well as add any treasury cards. To open up a treasury account, you'll just come here and add this treasury account. And the great thing about LegFi with Treasury is you can have as many accounts as you would like. And then you can, when you're invoicing your members, you can then have that money deposited into the account that that's for. So if you're billing chapter dues and fees on that invoice, you can choose the chapter operating account. If you have a house and you're billing for rent, then when members pay, it will be deposited into the housing account and so on. To add a treasury account, we'll just click here. You'll read through the terms and conditions. It will take you to the screen to begin filling out all of the information. In compliance with federal regulations, our payment processing partner Stripe must collect all of the information requested in the Know Your Customer form. This form is securely encrypted, and the data provided will only be used by Stripe system to verify your identity. So you will input the information that's required. You'll put in your cell phone number to begin with and your email address, and they'll also send you a text to verify that you received that text, and you'll put in the code that they send you. And then once you get through that process, you will need to provide your name, contact and identifying information, the organization information, and sometimes Stripe's automated system is unable to verify your identity. You may be asked to provide additional identification such as a driver's license to finish the process. So once you've submitted that information in full, the Treasury account will then show here, and you'll get a green check mark that it has been verified. And then once you've opened an account, you can then go in and open a treasury card under that account. So you can use this ellipsis here and click on treasury cards. Under here, you'll come up here to add card holder. Here, you'll come in here and you'll choose member. And then we'll choose Jess. And then choose card type. So you can choose either a physical card or a virtual card. Physical cards take 5 to 10 business days to receive, and then virtual cards are immediate. We're going to do a virtual card, and then we're going to come out here and we're going to look at our spending limit. Another benefit of LegFi with Treasury, with the Treasury cards, if you're working on an event and you need multiple members to have a card to be able to go purchase supplies or anything like that, you can open up a treasury card for them, give them an all-time limit where they have the budget is $150 wherever they're going, or $500, whatever the budget is for them. And once that money is gone, they can no longer use it. Then you can go close it, or they can keep it if they help with other events. And then once that's done, then you can up the all-time limit so that they can then go use it for that event. But if it's an officer or an admin and they need a bigger range of spending, you can choose like how much they can spend in a day or a week or a month, however your budget works. So if they can spend $500 a week. So we'll do that, and then agree to the terms and conditions, and then click next. You want to make sure everything looks correct and then click submit. So once the card holder has been added, then we will go back, and it says here pending card holder data. If you are opening a card for someone else, they will receive an email from LegFi that says that they need to go in and fill out their information, card holder data. But if it's for you, then you can come out here under this ellipses and add the card holder information. And then from there, you can just put in your information, and then agree to the terms and conditions, and click continue, review everything to make sure it's correct, and then submit. And then you can go back to the view treasury cards and it shows here that it's active. Once it's active, if for any reason you need to go in and close a card or anything like that, you can do that by clicking on these ellipses here. If you need to suspend a card, you can do that. You can reopen if you suspend a card because you think maybe you've lost it or you can't find it and you just want to suspend it just in case, then you can suspend it and then you can reactivate it. If you close a card, you cannot reactivate it. So if it's someone that they only need a card for one time, or an officer is leaving and you need to close their account, then you would do that here. And then if a card was lost or stolen, you'll report that here. And then if you need to go in, like I said earlier, if you had to increase somebody's budget or something, you can come here and you can increase their spending limit. So now that we've gone over the financial accounts and the treasury cards, I'm going to switch back what transactions within LegFi look like. That is a test account, so we don't have transactions on that account. I did screenshots to show you. So if a treasury card has transactions, you can come here and you can view that transaction and then or view the transactions, and then it will show you all the transactions for that particular person or that particular card. If there's a specific transaction that you're just not sure about and you want to click into that one and look more into it, you'll click on the actual transaction. You look at it and you say, you know what, this was not me. I did not do this, and you want to dispute that, you can, but just be aware that there is a fee. If you dispute it and you lose that dispute, then you are charged $25. So just make sure that you know for sure. And from what I've learned is if the card was actually present at the place, like if online transactions, things like that, those are easier to dispute. But if the card was actually at the place, those are harder to dispute. So if you lose a card or a card gets stolen, as soon as you find out, the best thing to do is to go and report that so that the card is not used at an actual location. To see your disputes, you would come up here to disputes and it will show you a list of all your disputes, and then it also puts them into like a won category or a lost category, so you can see that there. That is everything that I wanted to show you all today. Hannah, do we have any questions?
Yeah, there was a couple. They're asking for a little clarification on the collections process. So they're wondering what to do if they've sent one of their members to collections, but now the member is asking to get on a payment plan to pay off their debt, like what steps they could take for that situation.
Unfortunately, when a member gets sent to collections, they cannot come back to LegFi. So that's why we encourage you to do as much reaching out to that member before. That's like a last resort. So just make sure that you've tried everything to get a hold of them, because once they're sent to collections, they can't be brought back.
Okay, perfect. And then we have another question that came in. They're asking if they can rename a treasury account.
Yes, they can. Let me show you how to do that. So under financial accounts here, if you'll click on these ellipses and click on view edit account, you can come out here and you can update the account name and then click save.
Okay, and
So
then we have, thank you for that. And then
sure.
we have one more. They were just asking how they can cancel a balance. So if somebody owes money, but they're just trying to get rid of it, they don't want to pursue it anymore, how they could do that.
So there's actually two ways that you can do that. So depending on how you keep up with your records. So let's say that Nick here
Hmm.
paid $495. So he has $5 left on his account, and you're not going to go try to track him down for $5. So you can either, um, under the record payment, you can put the $5, and then under payment method, you can choose write off. So that will bring his balance to 0, or you can go into his account and then under the remaining balance under actions, you can then choose to delete the remainder. Now, if you want to keep good record keeping, I suggest that you do the write off because that shows in the register. If you delete the remainder, that does not show.
Okay, perfect. And then we have a question asking if the physical treasury cards cost any money to the chapters.
They do not. They
Okay.
can have as many cards as they want, and all of them
Mhm.
are free.
Perfect. And then I have another question. There's like two parts to this question, but the first part is about activating and using virtual cards. So if you maybe want to go back to show the treasury cards, how they can see the card information on those.
Okay, sure. So this will show you the actual card number, and it's not a real card number. But if you need the card number, then the person whose card that belongs to, they're the only ones that will be able to see that.
Mhm,
Other people will not be able to see, and then admins of the account will be able to see that as well.
mhm.
Um, but like not just other members, they won't be able to see that. But that is how you can see that card. And as soon as you receive it, from my understanding with virtual cards, there's not, once you put in your card holder information, the status is active. So you don't
Mhm,
have to, like, with regular credit cards and debit cards, you have to call in to activate it. But with virtual cards, you don't have to do that.
mhm. Yes, as long as they feel like if you're putting it in for yourself, um, on LegFi, a box will pop up like Amanda was talking about, and you can fill in your information. But if it's for someone else, it'll email them. So as soon as they submit all that, then they can go here and view it. And then there's just one more question right now, I think. So they are recently, like, they've transitioned to LegFi, and they previously did everything through their bank account, but they want to switch all of their transactions to go through LegFi. So they're just asking the best way to switch all of that over. Do you have any tips for that?
You can, before you close out, if you're choosing to like transfer your funds from your bank account to a LegFi Treasury account, before you close out your bank account, transfer the money because right now LegFi doesn't have a way for you to like send in cash or anything like that for us to deposit it for you. It's all like virtual. So you would need to transfer your funds from your bank account to your LegFi Treasury account, and you can find the LegFi Treasury like account number and everything here if you need to view the edit. So it will show you the account number, the routing number,
Mhm.
and you'll just click on the eyeball and it will show you the whole account number. So you would do that. Um, Now, right now, we do not have a way for you to pay vendors through LegFi.
Perfect. And I think another thing too, just going back to how you were showing about those file sharing, if you were looking to like close out your bank account, you could also maybe download those bank statements and then upload them there. So that way you still have those records from your account from the past year, but it's
Right.
all here to
Yes.
transition. We did get a couple more questions. Sorry, Amanda, come through.
That's
Um,
good.
Go over really quick transferring um, money between different treasury accounts. So how they could move that
Oh,
money.
sure. Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
All right. So here under this fund transfers, you would go to add fund transfer, and then you would just choose which account that you want to transfer it from, and then to, and then the amount. It will show you the available balance, and it will not let you obviously transfer more than what the balance says. You can also transfer from your LegFi Treasury to an external bank account if you need to do that as well. But the ACH, that takes 3 to 5 business days. But between Treasury accounts, it's immediate.
and then I think we have one more question. They were just asking again what email address they can use to reach out about archiving members.
Info@legfi.com.
I have another question that came in. They were asking again about virtual cards and wondering if you could link that with your Apple Pay. So if you were, like at a store in person, if you could just use your phone to pay using that virtual card.
Yes, you can. So you can just add your virtual card to Apple Pay, Google Pay, whatever you use. It can be added, and you can use it at like brick and mortar stores.
Okay, perfect. And I think that's it for the questions.
Those were good questions. All right. Well, if you all think of any other questions, please feel free to email us at info@legfi.com, and we'll be happy to help. Thanks everyone for joining us today, and keep an eye out on your emails. We're sending out information during officer transition season. Have a great afternoon, everyone.